my father did not even know about it. And we developed an internal mechanism where he would not influence that process. Eventually, I made silk, but as soon as I made silk, there's a lot of criticism that I made silk because my father was senior advocate. Now, this is also the same thing in the bench. There are quite a few applicants who may be well qualified, but have relationship with persons who had gone before, who were doing very well and accomplished in the bench. The rumor, obviously, is that fathers, relatives have influenced the process. Now, it may or may not be true, because you might have applicants who are meriting of the position or deserving of the position. But with a system that is closed, in other words, one cannot tell what the criteria is, will my lord be prepared to consider a system that is far more transparent, such that you can tell why you failed, such that you can tell what it takes? Many of the applicants will go to the website and can't tell what the requirements are, other than the vague, broad statements. So if we drew from the United Kingdom, for example, there are specific requirements, and you're informed about those requirements. My lords have gone through this system. Will my lords be prepared as members of the NG, well, as very important judges in the system, be prepared to consider a system that is far more open and candidates know what they have to do to qualify? Because the good candidates, as I said, I thought I was deserving of it, but I got a lot of criticism. The good candidates, good judges are suffering as a result of that. And the system suffers even more. Thank you very much. And I can start with Justice AMINA. Thank you very much, my lord.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please. Now I have just 5 minutes apparently, so let me just go straight to it. The problem is, when you talk about the UK, the US, and all these countries, you forget that what we have that is different is federal character. And there's nothing we can do, because if you say that let's deal with pure merit, they may come from one part of the country and not on the other part of the country. So when we take that into consideration, and I want us to also consider that being a judge is a calling. It's a lot of people coming to it because they think, oh, I have an oddly following me, oh, I have a permanent place on the high table. But when they come to have to do the job, you find out that it needs your soul. In fact, your soul goes into it in doing that job. So we have to find a way where we take into consideration that this attitude of lobbying started from when the politicians realized that if you had your own man as a judge in the office, once the electoral court moved to electoral problems moved to the court, there was a system of let's put our own person in place, so that when they get there, they will do like our master's voice. So you have that lobbying part. You have those that are passionate, who can do the job, quality, they have everything. Now they're sidetracked by that pressure of people who know people that have gotten there. So I have looked at it and said, fine, we have to do federal character. But you see, NJC has this monitoring body where it's all is boiled down to quantity. They have a whole department and all the NJC members that sit on and decide, what do you call it now? These are returns, how much you do. You find out that the judges are now putting in so many to say, I wrote 12 judgments, I wrote 13 judgments, I wrote 14, 15, 16 in a quarter. Meanwhile, it's all utter rubbish. You have those that have put in their best, they've been passionate about it, they've put in everything they've done, they might not have done that well. Now, if we look at it, that there is already a system for returns, why don't we get another way where you have, there are so many retired justices of the Supreme Court, of the Court of Appeal, or even at the High Court, that once they retire, they're still very alert. They're still very good. So you have a system where you have all these retired judges and something who come in. When you bring your returns, they should be able to go through your judgments, know the type of persons you are. I mean, have a kind of data bank where you have federal character. Yes, when it comes to this state, they have this many number of judges. This is what they have written. Read through and then scale them through like, oh, this is a good person, the next one, the next one, the next one. When you need appointments from state A, You already have a body of judgments, judges that the NJC has already rated, and they know. So we go there. We don't depend on who has lobbied to put a judge through to get there. So at any point in time, you have a data bank that is always being rolled up, because these judges are sitting down there to read these judgments, assess them, not purely on quantity, but also on quality. So you have both. Are they hardworking? Are they good at their job? So we do away with all this idea of having to lobby. I'm actually horrified when we have appointments and I see somebody I've written a judgment on their, I've written a judgment on the appeals that come, and I know that they're utterly incompetent and inept. They don't know the law, and yet have this ambition that, my Lord, there are openings for Court of Appeal of wherever, whatever, I want to come in. And I can't even believe that they would actually believe that they're good materials for that, for such offices. But at the end of the day, what do we find? Through some way or the other, you might actually see one or two of them get into those positions. So that's what I'm trying to say. Please, we find a system. What we already have, like the Honorable Speaker just said, let's not build according to one certain what you have prevailing. We're a unique country with unique problems, unique every which way. Let's fashion a new system out of what we have, using what we have to get the best that we can. Thank you very much.